Okay, we're back at the mill and we're going to put a hole in here for a grease port. Changed my mind about putting a grease fitting in there, figuring that if you forgot while the axle, while the spindle was turning, you grab this thing, that grease fitting might not feel too good. So what I'm going to do is just put a flat on there, drill a hole, and put a little button screw in there. Yeah, that'll be the grease port. I'll use a grease adapter used for cars to pump grease into U-joints. And we'll just pump in grease that way, and then we'll have a nice smooth finish that won't catch you. So here we go. We'll find the front of this part and the two sides. We'll come in, I forget what it was, 20.5 millimeters, and then drill our hole. First I'll throw in a 1/2 inch end mill, put a nice little flat there, and then go from there. So here we go. Now that's a 1/2 inch edge finder, so we need to remember to offset that by 1/4 once we find this edge. Whoop, and there's that one. So that's my Y. Come in, 0.25 that way. And we're right over the edge of that part. Now we'll go find the X. There's the X. Come on over to the other side. I'm going to take half of that, half of the X, and that'll give me my center. So we've got that part registered. Okay, there's my center, and let me look at the drawing. We've got to go 20.5. Back here is 0. Let me verify that 0. It's not right. Yep. Okay. Now we're going in 20.5 millimeters. From that edge. There's our 20.5. We'll lock the table, turn the mill off. Drop the edge finder out. And then I'm going to load the table. There we go. And we need a 1/2 inch end mill. We'll finish up this cut. I just made a little cleanup there where that other one dug in. But we'll finish this up. that's our 1.5mm pocket for our little butt head screw. Take that out. On our small drill chuck. And looks like we got to drop the table a little bit. We're going to put an 832 butt head screw in there, so an 832 is a number 29 drill. I'll grab that. Okay, we'll come back to 0 on our X. Lock that knee down. And we'll give it a little pack. Get ourselves started. Nothing serious, critical here. Just there we go. A little love juice on there to give it a nice finish. Okay, there's our hole. And get a little chamfer on there. That's good. And we'll tap that 832. Here's a little trick that I like to do. Just do it manually using the chuck, and you can kind of feel the tap and not worry about snapping them. And there we are. We've got ourselves a 832 grease hole. And we'll put our nice little button head screw in there. All right, where's that go? Anyway, got to find another button head screw. Here's the grease fitting I was talking about. I'll put that right in there, pump a little grease, you're home good. All we got to do is a little chamfering there and clean it all up, and we'll be in business. So that completes that part totally. Next part I'll show you the assembly. All right, catch you later. Okay, so I don't know about my button head screw. I think he grew a pair of legs and walked away, so I have to make another one. But there's our little screw, and we got our tapped hole, and that's just gonna screw right in there. Slicker than snot on a glass doorknob. And now we've got a nice little grease port. And nothing to grab your hand should you forget when the mill is running that you got something in there. The grease fitting would have been a doozy. Anyway, that completes this part totally. The next part will be to assemble the bearings and put the snap ring on. So I'll bring you back to that. Okay, we're ready to put this guy together, and we're going to clean up this journal here. Get a little big towel. Alright, as you can see, I've taken one of the seals off the radial bearing and repacked that off camera. So that's ready to go. And we're going to put a little bearing mount so that we don't allow that bearing to spin. And we're not going to put a lot of this. Matter of fact, that's a little too much. Just a little bit does it. And that's the first bearing to go on there. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing with this guy. Just a tiny bit. The whole idea behind that is just so that that bearing does not rotate on the journal that it sits on. And then we'll take the bearing cup, and you can see I've got my nice little grease port, and it sits well below. So hopefully that'll slide right in there without any issues. I'll get a little sandpaper. All right. I get a little burr, so I'm going to come back on off camera and bring you back in a second. Okay, we got the cup past the snap ring groove. That's down there nice and snug. And we'll put our bearing assembly in there. A little bit of grease on the outside here. The rollers are packed inside, but here we go. Now we'll move the camera and get over to the vise because we're going to install the snap ring now. These are always fun to do. Would have used a bigger set of snap ring pliers because, you know what, I'm going to take this chuck out, give us a little more room. All throughout this video I've been saying this is an ER16 chuck. It's not, it's an ER20. Sorry about that. Okay, give it a little tap, tap, tap. Just get that ring in place. There it is. There's our unit all assembled, ready to go. And we'll put the shank on there. Nice tight fit on that thread. And there it is, our completed rotary brooch. Now, to give you an idea how this thing works, we'll put the chuck back on. And just kind of grab it this way. You can notice that the top part is oscillating in an orbit. Now, you could either turn this part or you can turn the other part when you're actually trying to make a pocket in something like a hex pocket or something like that. But the whole idea is when the brooch is in the hole, it's actually doing one of these numbers here, and that's the cutting action that occurs. It doesn't move from side to side or this side to that side. It just sits there and rotates around in the bore, and that oscillation is what causes the cutting. So next time we get a video together, we'll be doing a brooch, the actual cutting tool, on the milling machine. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.